So turning towards practice, getting comfortable, getting those blankies, getting cozy. Happy just after solstice, everyone. The cold, dark, longest, darkest day of the year. Yeah, orient towards comfort in whatever position you decide to meditate in. In a sitting posture, having the spine aligned. If you're leaning against something, having the low back supported can help with this kind of upright, natural alignment of the spine that makes the body easeful for the sitting period. Feel free to lay down, or if you've been sitting all day, feel free to stand. Just orienting towards comfort and ease in the body. Getting comfortable, getting the wiggles out. Inviting the body to settle, the energy to settle. Collecting our mind from all the different places it went today, our heart from all the different places it went today. Coming into this moment in the body, inviting ease, inviting comfort, and allowing whatever is there, residue from the day, residue from the week or month or the world, allowing it to come and go. Taking a deep, full breath into the low belly, holding at the top, and softening through the body on the exhale. Inviting a releasing, a softening and relaxing. Another couple breaths like that, deep, slow inhale. Holding at the top. And exhaling. Seeing if the body can soften a little more. Another deep inhale. Holding at the top. And softening, releasing, relaxing on the exhale. Letting the breath become smooth and natural. Feeling where the body's connecting with the earth, the cushion, supported and held by the earth. You can we can ground a little, imagining roots coming out of the bottom, the places touching, going deep down into the earth, giving us stability, growing wide like the trunk of a tree. Also feeling the spine suspended as though from a string coming down from the sky, held up gently and bright. Inviting presence into this physical body, into the whole field of the body, like zooming out all the way to the sides and to the back, above and below, taking in all these different little sensations pinging in from different places, sounds pinging in, experiencing this physical field, this full physical field. Allowing all the little sensations to come and go, any feelings coming and going, thoughts coming and going. Just inviting, without expectation, comfort and ease into this moment, just existing moment to moment, this mind and body unfolding in time. Letting thoughts and feelings come and go, just noticing, tuning into the space of the heart center, the center of the chest, the heart chakra. Just feeling whatever energy is there, maybe momentum from the day there. Just allowing and accepting. Bringing our kind attention there, just resting in the heart. Turning this kind attention towards our own hearts. Inviting a light to arise in the heart, this energy of kindness, maybe a warmth emanating from the heart, a little glow. Our metta emanating right there. And letting it expand, this light gently expanding through the chest, up to the lungs, down to the organs, expanding through this the inner part of the body towards outwards, letting it expand through the shoulders and down through the hips. This kind light shining through all the little cells, all the little parts of the body, shining up through the neck, up through the head, down through the low body, the legs. Just expanding all the way through the body, all the way down the arms, down the legs, to the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes. This kind attention, this care for this being. Every cell touched by this light, this whole being. filled with this glow. Letting the light soften any areas of tension, any place we hold our emotions or hold stress, anywhere we might judge or anywhere that's in pain. Let the light glow there. Bring the attention gently there. Just holding it with kindness. Letting this light glow through those parts. I'll offer some phrases. If you have your own phrases you use that resonate, please use them. May I be safe and protected from harm. Feeling this kind intention washing through the body. Maybe the light grows brighter. May I be peaceful and joyful. May I be free from suffering. May my heart be at ease. Letting this kind vibration flow through the body, this kind light warming and touching every part. And within this being, there's a whole field of emotional experiences, aspects of personality, qualities we like, qualities we don't like. Inviting this light to flow through the entire mental field, emotional field, the field of experiences that we go through in this life. Holding in this kind light our wholesome qualities that we like, our joy, our kindness, our friendliness, our love. all the other kinds of wholesome qualities. Letting this light shine into the shadows, parts we may dislike, hold with unkindness or shame. Shining this light, holding all the aspects of this being, our anger, our fear, our unkindness, all the other forms of afflictive states, just conditioned arisings flowing through, holding them with our care, with the tenderness they need. Inviting softening through the whole body if any tension has arisen, inviting ease through this whole field, inviting kindness for this being somewhere on its journey from birth to death, experiencing the 10,000 joys and 10,000 sorrows of a human existence, and shining this light into the past, into our young selves, child selves, growing selves, adolescent selves, all those experiences, young adult selves, coming all the way to now, holding it all in this light and stretching the light into the future. This aging body, this aging being, learning and growing along the way, subject to aging, sickness, and death, all the way to the end of our lives, whatever form we're in at that point. Just encompassing all of it in this light, all the dimensions of this being. This being coming to its last breath. May I be peaceful and joyful. May I be free from suffering. May my heart be at ease. Inviting to mind another being, a benefactor, someone who's been kind to you, someone with whom it's uncomplicated, maybe a mentor or an animal, maybe a grandparent. And if no human comes to mind, maybe a tree or a place. a being towards whom our metta arises easily, expanding this light out from our heart, radiating it out to encompass them, illuminating their being, holding them in this kindness and in this care and this light, seeing them glowing. May you be safe and protected from harm. May you be peaceful and joyful. May you be free from suffering and live with ease. Seeing them receiving this energy, their hearts glowing in this light, their whole being illuminated. And thanking them, letting their image dissipate and bringing to mind a neutral person, somebody neither loved nor unloved, maybe a stranger, someone whose story you don't know, someone at the grocery store, someone on the street that you saw, someone you can visualize, someone who you don't want anything from, who doesn't want anything from you, and visualizing them, letting this light extend from your heart to their heart, illuminating their being, this kindness, this care, holding them in this wish for their well being. May you be safe and protected from harm. May you be peaceful and joyful. May you be free from suffering and live with ease. Knowing that they too are on a journey from birth to death, just wishing to be happy with all of the ups and downs of their life, subject to the universal sufferings of aging, sickness, and death. May your heart be at ease. Thanking them, letting their image dissipate, and bringing to mind those who bring up our shadow, someone we may have a challenge with, or have had a minor challenge with, or towards whom we hold maybe a little resentment or a grudge. bringing their image to mind, noticing any shift in your energy. If any tension arises in the body, inviting it to soften. Visualizing this being, letting this light emanate out from the heart to their heart, illuminating them with this light, letting their whole being be filled with this light, this care, and this kindness. Knowing that they also suffer, wishing for them not to suffer. May you be safe and protected from harm. May you be peaceful and joyful. May you be free from suffering. May your heart be at ease. And coming back into this heart, letting their image dissipate, letting this light shine again through this being, through this body, this whole mind and body field, filled with this kindness and care, re-expanding this light from the heart, radiating it out through this being and further out to everyone in this room, imagining everyone in this circle together, these friends showing up to do this practice, to walk this path, offering our metta to Jacob, to Tanya and Mel, to Nata, to Tess. May you be well and happy, peaceful. To Brent, to Lori, Stuart, Amber. May you be joyful. May your heart be at ease. To Zev, to C, to Rosa, may you be well. May you be happy. To Caitlin, Alexi, SK, to Seppi, may you be well. May you be peaceful. To Jay, to Svez, Jayanika, Kendra, and Cakes. May everyone in this room, may your heart be at ease. May you be well. May you be held in this light, in this kindness, and this care. Extending this light further outwards, our circles of friends and family, extending this light out through them, extending this light physically in space out in all directions through the neighborhood, the place where we live, touching every being, human and non human, to the devas, the animals, the ghosts, all the creatures in all the forms, expanding this light outwards over the land, into the sky, down into the water, expanding outwards, ever outwards, further and further across the country and continent into the ocean, letting every being be touched by this light. All the beings on their journey from birth to death, just wishing to be happy and well, expanding further over the world, out to the other continents, all the way through the oceans. So many beings, all the suffering beings, all beings suffer, every being in every form suffers. May all beings be free from suffering. All the beings in this moment in states of woe, states of difficulty, pain, or distress, may they all be touched by this light emanating around the world, through the world, all the way to the other side of the world. Expanding out past the earth through the universe, this vast, vast universe, many beings, everyone, everywhere, illuminated, glowing. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings awaken. Thank you for your beautiful practice. Gratitude to everyone showing up on this holiday week. Letting the body soften, wake up, wiggling the fingers and toes. So, stretching as needed, whatever feels good, sipping some water. So, hi. Oh, dear friends. So, I'll talk for a little bit and then we can chat. So this practice of cultivating this on the cushion, it naturally will ripples into our daily lives, into how we interact with the world, how we react to different experiences in the world. Um, it's gradually shifting our habit pattern of mind away from aversive states and towards wholesome states. And ultimately, this bigger picture of the path of liberation, of spiritual liberation, is just that it's the diminishing of unwholesome states and the growing of wholesome states. And the fully liberated, the Buddhas, have completed that path all the way to the end. Um, and the let's see, Metta gets to be one of our compasses. Metta and the other Brahma Viharas are our joy, our sympathetic joy, joy for the wellness of other beings, um, our compassion, our wish for other beings not to suffer, and our equanimity. These are like a relational compass. Um, and I'll just share like a kind of real time world metta practice that came up for me yesterday. I was traveling. I'm at my parents. I got to my parents' house last night. I took a flight, um, and on the way to the airport in the morning, my partner was taking me to a to stop at Long's Drugs and then to stop at a bus station, and we're driving, and there's a man on the side of the road with his thumb up. He looks quite elderly. He has a walker. And like my partner just immediately, tender-hearted being, swerves the car. And we, I hop out and I'm like, "Where are you going?" And he was like, "Long's Drugs." And I was like, "No way, I'm going to Long's Drugs. Hop in." And um, he gets in the car. Has trouble getting his backpack off. I help him. He has trouble folding the walker. I help him fold the walker, get it in the car. We start chatting, and it was really hard for him to get in the car. He had a broken hip just a few weeks earlier, and his hands were trembling, and like it was just like, oh, oh. Um, just like so happy that my partner's immediate reaction seeing him was just like, let's help this guy. Like just um and in the car he's he's panting in pain. His hip is really in pain, and I'm sitting there and I'm observing the sensations arising and my emotions, my wanting to fix it, wanting to help, wanting to whatever. And like the physical sensations in my body that are happening, it's like a tension came in my low belly that's like hating the pain or like not accepting this pain, like feeling almost desperate to make the pain, this empathic pain I'm feeling towards this elderly man, stop. um, and then just like noticing that and like, okay, softening the belly and just like holding us all in the car in this kindness. And um, as we're chatting, uh, it turns out he was like, "Oh, I live at the homeless shelter down in Wailuku," and um, he was going to take a bus from Long's Drugs where I was going to take the bus from, and it was like, "Oh, yay, we get to spend some time together." And just this complete stranger, just noticing the aversion to pain, the closing and the opening and the softening, and all the different ways it was coming up in my mind and coming up in my physical body, and just again and again getting to soften and open and just like relax into both like the acceptance of this moment and the kindness for all of us. Um, and like we got to Long's Drugs, and I was like, "Oh, what do you need to get?" And he was like, "A bottle of vodka." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Ah, that's okay." His hands were shaking because of alcohol withdrawals, and like part of me that had in the car thought, "Oh, I should give him the cash. I have a 20 in my wallet. I should give it to him." Then when he said the alcohol, like there was a little contraction, like that was like, "Oh no, he's gonna spend it on alcohol if I give it to give him this 20 or whatever." And so it's just like watching the stories and the ways like the heart's opening and closing and opening and closing and opening, and then I'm just like, oh, like when the heart's open, I'm just gonna give him the 20. Like, "Merry Christmas." Um, and yeah, like, that heart that wants to be generous versus the heart that wants to control, um, or the heart that wants to not cause harm or, like, not promote harm. Um, it was it was just a powerful experience of just this, like, real time, like, metta, 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 opening and closing and seeing like rapidly the shifting between those states. Yeah, yeah, all the little neurotic stories that go through, or like, oh, if I give him money, maybe he'll ask me for more money, and then like, and just noticing it, cutting it off, just like the sort of wisdom being like, all right, I feel that contraction in my heart again, and I'm not going to move from that place. So just again, softening back down and opening. Um, yeah, hmm, jumped right into that. All right, let's see. There's anyway, this practice, it can bring more and more consciousness on these subtle levels, like faster and faster, to all these like little fleeting thoughts that are happening through the day, these snap judgments we make about people, like the ways we close our hearts, and then like gradually again and again get to soften and get to reopen and get to move through the world in a way that is more aligned and sincere and bright in the heart. That brings us happiness and that brings the people around us happiness. So, yeah, the metta grows, it becomes more and more steady. This radiance of heart becomes more and more steady, more and more common, and more often. And in that steadiness, we are naturally less reactive to external situations. The heart becomes more steady and more grounded, therefore, more clear, more wise, more skillful as we take actions in the world. I was so happy when I gave him that 20 and just was like, "Merry Christmas." I'm just so if I didn't, I would have been kicking myself. um, I think it, like someone told me that Joseph Goldstein said, like, if you ever have the impulse to be generous, just act on it. You won't regret it. I fully believe that. So I wanted to read a sutta. Let me pull it up here. Um, I want to share the screen. Thank you, Tess, for dropping it in the chat. Mind precedes all mental states. These are the Buddha's words. And this is from the Dhammapada. It's like kind of the most famous collection of the historical Buddha's sayings. Mind precedes all mental states. Mind is their chief. They are all mind wrought. If with an impure mind a person speaks or acts, suffering follows him like the wheel that follows the foot of the ox. Mind precedes all mental states. Mind is their chief. They are all mind wrought. If with a pure mind a person speaks or acts, happiness follows him like his never departing shadow. He abused me, he struck me, he overpowered me, he robbed me. Those who harbor such thoughts do not still their hatred. He abused me, he struck me, he overpowered me, he robbed me. Those who do not harbor such thoughts still their hatred. Hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By non hatred alone is hatred appeased. This is an eternal law. There are those who do not realize that one day we all must die, but those who do realize this settle their quarrels. Let that settle for a minute. And I'm going to read a different translation of the same sutta. I think they're both beautiful and uh, flesh out this feeling and understanding of this. Phenomena are preceded by the heart, ruled by the heart, made of the heart. If you speak or act with a corrupted heart, then suffering follows you, as the wheel of the cart follows the track of the ox that pulls it. Phenomena are preceded by the heart, ruled by the heart, made of the heart. If you speak or act with a calm, bright heart, then happiness follows you, like a shadow that never leaves. He insulted me, he hit me, beat me, robbed me. For those who brood on this, hostility isn't stilled. He insulted me, hit me, beat me, robbed me. For those who don't brood on this, hostility is stilled. Hostilities aren't stilled through hostility, regardless. Hostilities are stilled through non hostility. This is an unending truth. Unlike those who don't realize that we're here on the verge of perishing, those who do, their quarrels are stilled. They're some of the most famous and powerful words of the Buddha. Each one of these has a backstory that aren't usually written along with the suttas, but there are long versions with commentaries where you can find the backstory to why the Buddha said what he did at that moment. Each of these phrases, and this one about stilling our hostility only through non-hostility and realizing that we're about to die on the verge of perishing. Um, Stilling our quarrels, stopping our fights, our conflicts. Um, the the backstory to that one was about two women who, uh, in the life they met the Buddha, they were two women, or actually one of them they called her an ogress, um, but they had been incarnating life after life, um, fighting, and it had started lifetimes before where one of them they like killed the other's child to get her own child. They had the same husband and to get their own child to be the heir. And then the cycle of vengeance and hatred kept going life after life. They'd incarnate as different creatures. One incarnates as a deer, the other one like a tiger, and they just keep killing each other, harming each other again and again, life after life, cycle after cycle. Um, and in the life where the Buddha spoke these words, the one was like running with her child away from the other one who was coming after her, and like came to the Buddha's feet for help, and he offered those words. We can think of that in a bigger picture with our karma, with those people who evoke our shadow, the challenging ones, the difficult ones. Um, and I I get most inspired by like stories of real people who went through real difficulties, um, and the power of their metta and their power of their compassion shines through. Like um, during the Chinese takeover of Tibet, um, there were many Tibetan lamas, Tibetan monks who were jailed, who were caught and put in Chinese prisons, some of them for decades, many of them died there. Um, and the conditions were very severe. And one of these lamas, he actually lives in Arizona. If there's anyone who's in reach of his center, his name is Garchen Rinpoche, the Garchen Institute. Um, he's one of these Tibetan lamas who was jailed for 20 years, and came out enlightened and came out radiant. Like, how do you come out of, decades of like hunger and being ill treated, being beaten, things like that, like radiant and like purified, completely purified and loving. Um, the like ig- the understanding of karma, that these beings who are causing harm, these beings who are causing oppression, who are violent towards me or violent towards others in the world, they are sowing the seeds of deep suffering for themselves. There's that wisdom, that understanding, um, and like those kinds of Tibetan lamas. Another one was Anam Tubten Rinpoche. I've heard him talk about his teacher, who was one of those Tibetan monks who also just like went into Chinese prison, came out decades later, um, clean, purified by the fires of really intense oppression, by practicing compassion in the face of that kind of harm. And yeah, Garchen Rinpoche, he's in his 80s now, late 80s. If you have a chance to go see him, if I was within reach of Arizona, I would definitely go, um, just to be in the presence of pure, pure benevolence. Um, Someone who's walked the walk so deeply. Mm. So, in this way, as we reflect on our own lives, like the suffering, the fires of our own lives, as we come to these practices, I mean, everyone in this room is already here to practice, like to transform our suffering, to transmute our suffering into our awakening. That that mud again that the lotus grows out of. Um, yeah. Mm. There's another in that Dhammapada book that I just read from. There's another saying that is, no one can harm us more than our own mind. Like, no relative, no friend can, uh, and no one can benefit us more than our own mind. So it's like it's coming into the deepest possible empowerment that we can for ourselves. um, through cultivating these practices, and it's a gradual path. The fires are going to come, and like we'll get shaken now and then, sometimes more deeply than others. I even had a period after many years of practice and some very strong metta practice, like just a kind of emotional trauma, like after which for some months, like I couldn't touch into the metta. And eventually over time it came back. But if only it were just a linear path that was predictable and just like I just keep getting cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. Or like, yeah, my heart is more and more pure, but then, it's more like peeling off the layers of something where like when when we're ready, the next deeper layer of like ways that we're suffering, subtle or unconscious, like painful beliefs, other things like that, when we're ready, they come to the surface and unravel. Um, or another simile from the Buddha's teachings is like washing. You got a really dirty cloth, you start washing it, like what you see is the dirt in the water. It look like it continues to look really dirty until it's fully clean, but you see all the dirt coming out and it's like, oh no, am I doing something wrong? um, but yeah, again, that's like the way when we are cultivating these really wholesome states, then we become more aware of all those kinds of subtle, fleeting thoughts or other like emotional habits that keep coming up again and again that are really contrary to the beautiful states of metta, or of compassion, of wisdom, or peacefulness. Yeah, I'll stop there and invite others to chat. Any questions or comments or things coming up in your own metta practice